Welcome to Reimagining Abilities, our podcast telling some of the stories of the individuals we support.
So when we talk about day services for people with disabilities or just people in general, what we want to focus on at the Charles Lee Center is making sure that people are engaged and that they are doing things that they're interested in, things that excite them, things that are personalized and individualized for them. We want to make sure that people have the opportunity to be a part of their communities in whatever way that may be envisioned for them, whether it's volunteering at some other organization or if it's participating in some type of community event, or whether we're having community partners that come into the Charles Lee Center to share their time and their talents with us, or if we are helping people with disabilities showcase their own talents and their own preferences. Day program is not about hanging out, so to speak, but it is truly about being engaged and being a part of a world that they have a right to be a part of. It's important to us because every person is their own individual person. No one person has the exact same likes, preferences, dislikes. No one person, whether you have a disability or not. So when we talk about people being engaged, I'm not going to be engaged in something that has no interest to me. I can't fully embrace that. So when we do day programming, so to speak, for people receiving services at the Charles Lee Center, it's about what do they want? And we find out what they want by asking them, keeping them at the center of their day, keeping them at the center of everything that's going on around them, because it needs to be valuable and important to them, or it's meaningless to all of us. Okay, so let's talk about some of our mistakes in the past, some of the issues that we've had in the past where we took what a person said they wanted, we took their dream, and we decided what that dream needed to look like for them. For instance, we used to support a young man, and what he wanted to do was to be he loved law enforcement. So he used to go around with a little notepad in his pocket and his pen, and he would write tickets to everybody. Well, we felt like, based on what our interpretation of his dream was, that he literally wanted to be a police officer. So we arranged for this wonderful tour of the police station. We had him talk to the captain. We did all these great things, and we got him a uniform, got all these great things. But once we realized that that's really not what he wanted to do, because he kind of let his dream settle for a little bit, we finally realized it's not what he wanted to do. He just wanted to write tickets to people, and he just needed more notepads and more pens. So we had to learn a lesson that being person-centered is not about taking somebody else's dream and expanding it to what makes sense to us. It's not about our interpretation. It is truly about listening to people and being flexible enough to understand that it's about them. It is not about us. We learned a great lesson with that, and we have many, many more lessons that we've learned in the process of being person-centered. But the most important lesson we've learned is we need to listen to people. We don't need to interpret for them. We need to truly hear them and find out what's important to them. That's so important to us that our first answer is never no. Our second and third answer is never no. Our theme is, our motto is our commitment to let's figure it out, let's find a way. There's going to always be obstacles, even for a person without disabilities. There's going to be obstacles. There's going to be these things that you have to overcome in order to help your dreams come true. When we talk about people with disabilities, there's so much that's against them already. As a service provider, we don't need to add to that load. So our response is always, let's figure it out. Whether that's partnering with somebody else or that's bringing our team together in a different way, bringing in their own personal support network. What do we need to do to figure it out? When we talk about employment services at the Charles Lee Center, we talk about helping the person not just find a job, but find a career that they can be invested in. And our goal is to help train them, support them, and prepare them to be not only successful, but to be independent in with their employer. So when we are helping people, we go through what's called a discovery process, just like you would yourself. We want to know, what are your interests? What are those things that excite you? What are the things that are important to you about employment? what are the money factors that we're talking about? What are the benefits that we're talking about? What type of peers do you want to have with you where you work? What do you need in the way of supervision? And most importantly, what do you need in order to be independent? So when we're helping somebody engage in that discovery process and engage in that employment process, what we're really doing is we are taking a deep dive into who that person is. There used to be the thought that you go out and you find all these jobs, and then you come back and you say, okay, that job would match that person, or that job would match that person. That's not how we do it here. We want to know who you are as a person, and then we want to take you into an experiential learning process where you're going and you're meeting those employers. We're going and we're sitting down in that restaurant with you, and we're saying, hey, what do you like? What do you not like? What appeals to you about this? If this is where you say you want to work, why is it? Are you wanting to work at McDonald's because you like the French fries? Well, let's talk about what happens to make those French fries. Are you wanting to work in this makeup studio because you just like to wear makeup? Let's talk about skincare. Let's talk about some of those things. So we're taking a deep dive because we don't want to just help you get a job. We want to help you get into a situation where you are not only enjoying where you are, but also your employer wants you to be there. One of the things that we do when we're training people to obtain jobs in the community, it's often a phased process. And what I mean by that is we need to know what are the hard skills you need as well as what are the soft skills that you need. So we use a lot of technology in our training arena. What I mean by that is we want to make sure that you know what are the tasks, what are the steps that are involved when you're doing a particular job. So we want to fine-tune those skills for you. But then we also want to fine-tune some of those softer social skills that really are the things that become prohibitive in keeping a job. You need to know how to interact with your peers. You need to know how to ask for additional support or training from your supervisor. You need to know how to advocate for yourself when it's time for you to get that promotion or that raise, or when you are dealing with some situations where there's more problem solving involved with that. So it's really a very individualized process. We're teaching you how to do the job, but we're also teaching you how to be successful with your employer. One of the things we do at Charles Lee Industries and Services is we help people again with those hard skills, those technical skills of how to do a job. So we partner with different businesses within the community, and the people out there, they are employees. They are paid to do those jobs, and they are paid at minimum wage or above to do those jobs. Okay, I'm very proud of the fact that the Charles Lee Center no longer holds a 14C sub-minimum wage certificate. We are paying people minimum wage or above. So we're really excited about that. But our goal there is to teach people how to do very specific tasks and then transfer those skills to other contracts that they may have. Our goal is never to run a workshop, so to speak. We are focused on a training center. So we've also developed several modules, job-specific modules at that location, whether it's retail or it's cleaning, it may be restaurant support, it may be dealing with how to work in a laundry facility. A few years back, we went through an assessment phase where we partnered with an organization that helped us to identify what are those top 10 jobs that people want in the community. And based on that information, we developed training modules. We were very specific. We use a lot of technology with that process, but we were very specific in honing in on what are the tasks that each of those jobs require, and we teach those at that location. So let's talk about individualized employment. That's our goal. If a person expresses a desire to work in the community, our answer again is never no. We're not looking at, are you job ready? Because what does that really mean? What does it mean that you're job ready? I don't think that there's anybody, at least nobody I know, including myself, that goes into a position and that they know it 100%. There's nothing that they can learn. So our goal when we're looking at people who want a job in the community is to look at, again, what do they need to learn? How do they need to learn it? And what do we need to do to support them? To not only get that job, but also be able to maintain it and sustain it successfully. That also includes being an inclusive part of wherever they're working. We go in with our career consultants, and we assess not only what the job candidate needs to do, but what also does the employer need to do to be a support to that person. Give you an example of that. We have a young man who works at a grocery store, and he's so excited about being there. But one of his struggles is going to lunch break on time and coming back from lunch break on time. Initially, what we were doing, what the business was doing, and thankfully, they were asking one of his peers to remind him to go on break and to come back on time. Well, we had to take a look at that, because is that what normally happened? Would another employee be responsible for their peer, their coworker? So we had to look at that, and what we did is we looked at what are the resources that he has naturally. He has a cell phone, he has a smartphone, okay? So we taught him how to use certain apps on his phone to be those natural reminders. That did a couple of things. It increased his independence, but it also helped his business to embrace him more as a true employee and not someone that was just coming there every day. That is the outcome that we want with individualized employment, that you are a part of where you're working, that you are embraced. Supportive living, that is one of the programs I'm extremely proud of, or services that I'm extremely proud of here at the Charles Lee Center. It's about helping people live the way that they want to live. We have people that may live in a home with 3 other people. They may live in a home with 8 or 10 other people, but everything is individualized. It's what does that person want? Everybody has their own bedroom. They have their visitors. They have their likes. They decorate their rooms the way that they want to. It's not where we go in and we say, okay, everybody's going to have the same color, or everybody's going to have the same type of decorations in their home or in their room. And then we also help people live in the community in apartments with a roommate, with their partner, or independently. Our supportive living programs are structured so that people live the way that they want to live. Again, that's where that person-centeredness comes in. Some people need more support than other people. Some people need help cooking. Some people need help doing laundry. Some people need training. Some people need prompts. So again, we're going to bring that enabling technology there so that we can help people learn those skills that they need, whether it's where they are or where they're seeking to move to. That's important to us. As we've had people to age, or they may have gone through some health experiences or what have you that have caused a decline in their abilities, one thing that we're very clear about is you don't make a person move just because their life situation has changed. Again, it's what do we need to do? How do we figure it out? What do we need to do to help that person be able to stay home? Because our houses are not just houses, they're homes for people. Those apartments are not just apartment buildings, they're homes. So what do we need to do to help people live the way that they want to live and be happy? Your home should be that's your sacred space. That should be your space where you go and you feel warm and you feel welcome and you feel happy. That's our role. So that's how we train our staff, that this isn't their home, they're just being invited in to help support people. Supportive living has not reached its climax yet. We are doing everything we can daily to be more innovative. We're looking at other service options. We're looking at other alternatives. We're looking at the possibility of tiny homes. Yeah, we're branching out. We're going to be doing some amazing things because, again, as the world evolves, we need to evolve and be more innovative in how we do things. So, yeah, houses are great. Duplexes are great. Townhomes are great. Tiny homes are great. We are just at the precipice of everything that we're going to do in our supportive living areas. It's about being intentional and, again, being flexible, but being person-centered. And truly being person-centered has to become part of the culture and the core of everything that you do. And so that's what we've embraced, that being person-centered is just who we are. It's not what we practice, it's who we are as an organization.
If you want to support us, you can contact us at our website, www.charleslee.org.